Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We're bringing you live coverage today of Aston Villa versus Arsenal at Villa Park. Kickoff is in about 5 minutes' time. Aston Villa did the double over Arsenal last season and put a serious dent in their title ambitions. They'll be looking to do the same today, as despite finishing fourth place, Villa felt the need to strengthen their lineup themselves, bringing in Amadou Onana for 59.35 million euros from Everton, and also bringing in Ian Matson from Chelsea at 44.5 million as well. Amadou Onana plays today. For Arsenal, the only major business in the summer for them was bringing in the Italian Riccardo Calafiore from Bologna for 45 million euros, and of course securing the permanent signing of David Raya for 31.9 million euros. So Arsenal looking to make this year the year that they win the championship. Today they take on Villa at Villa Park, and the team changes are as follows: with Villa just making Villa making no changes rather from their 2-1 victory at West Ham. Arsenal resorting just to one change as Alexander Zinchenko takes his place on the bench and is replaced by Jurrien Timber. So Villa Park absolutely packed to the rafters for this game as we are waiting the teams to come on the pitch. In the meantime, I will read out the starting lineups for you, starting with Aston Villa, who are managed by Unai Emery. They have Emi Martinez in goal, Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Pau Torres and Luca Dean make up the back four. The midfield is Amadou Onana, Yuri Tielemans, John McGinn and Leon Bailey, and Morgan Rogers. Ollie Watkins up front by himself. For Arsenal, managed of course by Mikel Arteta, well, they line up as follows with David Raya in goal, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Jurrien Timber being the only change. Martin Odegaard, the captain, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz and Gabriel Martinelli make up the starting lineup for Arsenal, who are tipped to be many people's favourites to challenge Manchester City for the title this year. For Villa, well, they're on the substitutes bench. They have Joe Gauci, the goalkeeper, Diego Carlos, Ian Matson, Costa Neglavkovic, Ross Barkley, Emi Buendia, Yaden Philogene, Jacob Ramsey, and John Duran. Arsenal, well, they have a very familiar lineup. Aaron Ramsdale, Jacob Kiwior, Ricardo Calafiore, Alexander Zinchenko, Jorginho, Reece Nelson, Leandro Trossard, Eddie Nketiah, rumoured to be on the way to the City Ground for Nottingham Forest, and Ethan Nwaneri as well. Referee today is England's best, Mike Oliver, age 39 from Northumberland, and he is joined as his assistants with Stuart Burt and Dan Cook. Fourth official, Darren England, and in VAR today is Peter Banks and Eddie Smart. As we take a look at the records between these two famous old teams. This is the 204th meeting between the two sides, with Arsenal winning 87, drawing 45, and Villa winning 71. And, well, if you take a look at the last 10 meetings between the two sides, of course, a double done by Villa last season, winning 2-0 at the Emirates and 1-0 at Villa Park. Prior to that, Arsenal dominating this fixture, really. But since then, the only Villa victory has come with a 3-0 away win at Arsenal in 2020. And the players are in the tunnel right now, just waiting to come out. They're very late, as we're already at 5:30, and the players still waiting to come out onto the pitch. There appears to be some delay here, so we're going to have a slight delay on kickoff. Might as well just take a look at some of the coaching records here. Aston Villa coach Unai Emery, he's a former Arsenal coach as well, of course, don't forget. His record against Arsenal is a pretty good one. 7 matches, 3 wins, 3 draws and a defeat. And his record against Mikel Arteta is much the same, 3-1-1. For Mikel Arteta, well, of course, it's not been a great record for him against Villa. 1-4, lost 5. And against Unai Emery, it is also very poor. 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. He'll be looking to turn that around today with City's victory over Ipswich. while we're waiting for the players to just get organised, we do have that slight delay here. I think it might be a good idea just to reach out to the starting lineups, the results today from the Premier League. And we are going to start at the early game. It was Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 0, West Ham United 2, Fulham 2, Leicester 1, Manchester City 4, Ipswich 0, Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and Tottenham 4, Everton 0. That's 7 goals conceded in 2 goals for the in 2 games for the Toffees. Not a good start. In the Championship today, we'll just read that out to you. The Sky Bet Championship. There was a number of games today, starting with Bristol City 1, Coventry City 1, Hull 0, Millwall 0, QPR 1, Plymouth 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, Oxford United 1, Middlesbrough 2, Portsmouth 2, Norwich City 1, Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 1, Luton Town 0, Stoke City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, Sunderland 1, Burnley 0, and Watford 2, Derby County 0. As the Arsenal are in their changed jerseys today, of its, you can almost say it looks like the Africa Lynx deodorant can. Black shirts with the white strips there, and the red, green, and the red and green stripes there on the side, the Adidas stripes. Aston Villa, of course, well, they'll be in their famous claret and blue jerseys, as the game is about to get underway momentarily here. We're just waiting for the game to get underway. Unai Emery just shaking the hands of Mikel Arteta. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, hello, Paul and the rest of the TC Hub team. Hi, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Hope you're having a good day. And we are about to get this game underway here with, looks like it may be Villa that's going to get us underway. Just still with this slight delay right now. The players lining up now as Mikel Arteta takes his seat. And Villa just doing their last bit of Arsenal rather just doing their last bit of preparation for this game. And the players now gathering at the centre circle for what is surely going to be the game of the afternoon. Villa Champions League already this season. Arsenal 2. This is going to be a fiercely competitive game. Both sides opening with a win. Aston Villa winning 2-1 away at West Ham last week. Arsenal 2-0 at home to Wolves. We're just going to have a moment of silence here as the two players, just the two sets of teams lining up. And just wait and see here what... yes, this is for Ian Chico Hamilton and Fred Potter, two former Villa players, and it's also for Matej Sakaric. These players have passed on, and the applause also Craig Shakespeare, another legend, as there is a round of applause circulating Villa Park right now from all 4 corners of the stadium for these legends. And that'll continue for just a few more moments, and then we will get the game underway. And Villa is going to be attacking the goal to our right. They're going to get the game underway. And Arsenal attacking the Holt end in this first half. As I said, Villa in their claret and blue jerseys. Today, Arsenal in their road black jerseys. As the officials just taking their positions now. And maybe we're finally going to get the game underway. As just some information handed to the 4th official there, which is Darren England. Just taking a look there, Aaron Ramsdale on the bench. He's also in a position where he may be moving himself. Again, rumoured to be going to Nottingham Forest, but he takes his place on the bench that stands right now. But Karl Hein has just been loaned out as well, so that move may not happen. Karl Hein has been loaned out to Real Valladolid. The game is underway now. It goes back to Emi Martinez, and he clears the ball long downfield. And that's just headed on there by Jurrien Timber. It's brought down there by the number 24, Amadou Onana. He drops the ball back there to Pau Torres on the halfway line. Torres just holds the ball up now, and he just drops it back into his own half to Ezri Konsa. Back to Pau Torres. Villa just wanting to keep possession early on. It's played down this right-hand side there to Douglas Luiz. Sorry, not to Douglas Luiz, rather to Leon Bailey. And Leon Bailey is adjudged to have committed some sort of infringement. And the referee has just stopped play, and it goes all the way back. Possibly Leon Bailey in an offside position there. So free kick is going to be taken by Arsenal, and it's going to be taken by Yuri Timmer. And he drops the ball back to Gabriel and plays the ball across to William Saliba. Saliba back to Gabriel. Gabriel holds the ball up, back to Saliba. And he plays it across to Ben White, as Arsenal now will build from the back very patiently, just like they always have done. And here is Gabriel now for Arsenal. Just trying to venture forward a little bit, but he drops it back to Saliba. Saliba across to Ben White. Arsenal just comfortable knocking the ball across their back line right now. Villa, very little press from them early on. Morgan Rogers just slowly making his way over to Saliba, but he drops the ball to Gabriel instead. And back to Saliba again. And right now this is very interesting. It's almost like a training session. Saliba now just holds the ball up. He's made it as far as the centre circle. He drops it to Declan Rice. Rice gives it to Timmer in the middle of the park, and he plays the ball down the right, looking for Saka. But that's a good interception there by Luca Dean, who's going to have to watch Bukayo Saka today very, very closely. Villa have a player down already, and the referee has just stopped play. We're just trying to see who that actually is. Oh, yes, it's Amadou Onana, who seems to have taken a knock to the face from Jurrien Timmer, quite by accident, of course. But it's going to be a stoppage in play for a head injury. Jurrien Timmer, he's back in the lineup, spent most of last season injured for the Gunners, but he's healthy and he's fit, and he's back in the starting lineup tonight. And just looking at that Arsenal bench, we may well see Calafiore later on. Arsenal spent a huge chunk of change on him, 45 million euros from Bologna for the 22-year-old. He was one of the few that did impress in the Euros for Italy, who really had a very poor European Championships by their standards. But there's Alexander Zinchenko, the one that had to make way for Jurrien Timmer, as Amadou Onana is still down, just on his back there right now. And some of the other results around Europe in the Bundesliga: Augsburg 2, Werder Bremen 2, Freiburg 3, Stuttgart 1, Hoffenheim 3, Holstein Kiel 2, Mainz 1, Union Berlin 1, RB Leipzig 1, Bochum 0, and the latest score from Dortmund is it's Borussia Dortmund 0, Eintracht Frankfurt 0. They've played about 8 minutes. They were due to kick off about the same time as we were here. And Amadou Onana is now finally back on his feet. He just looks a little bit dazed, and the physio is just going over, making sure that he's okay to continue. One has to be careful with concussion these days, and he seems to be okay. He'll, of course, have to go off for a short while, and then he will come back on again. So throw-in, so the game's going to get back underway, and the throw-in is taken quickly there by Ben White and released to Saliba, who gives the ball to Gabriel. Gabriel releases it down the left-hand side to Martinelli. Martinelli drops the ball back into his own half to Gabriel. Gabriel just making his way towards the centre circle, plays the ball across and finds Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey again, one of the spent much of the season injured last season, but he's back healthy again. Here's Timmer. And it is now with Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball across to William Saliba, and just over the halfway line there to Thomas Partey. Down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Luka Dean in front of him, but it's dropped back perfectly there. And it's now with Thomas Partey. Nice back heel to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard tries to play the ball in the middle, but it's just pushed out there by Matty Cash. Morgan Rogers trying to chase that down, but it's won back again by in the midfield there by Thomas Partey, who plays the ball to Timmer, who goes back to the goalkeeper, David Raya, who had a really outstanding season last season, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Really, for Arsenal, I mean, themselves really only conceding about 29 goals in the season as a whole. David Raya, his goalkeeping performance was just outstanding last season, running at something like 0.75 goals against average, which is incredible for this league. And it's now back with Emi Martinez in the Villa goal. And he's just taking his time. So a very slow start to this game. We've had 6 minutes gone in an already delayed kickoff. And the ball is played to Ezri Konsa. Konsa plays the ball forward there to Amadou Onana. Onana drops it back to the goalkeeper again. And Martinez releases the ball to Konsa. Konsa's got Matty Cash ahead of him. He's just going to drop the ball back again to Amadou Onana, who slips the ball to Matty Cash. Matty Cash has got Gabriel Martinelli up there with him. Good ball by Matty Cash into the middle of the park to Tielemans. Tielemans sends the ball across there to John McGinn. John McGinn plays the ball out to Leon Bailey. Down the right-hand side now, Leon Bailey. That's a really good ball through there to Matty Cash, who got forward there, but his cross is a poor one and immediately blocked out there by Timmer, and it's cleared away. But Arsenal now breaking forward, and it's Martinelli over the halfway line. An inspired run. He's getting help there from Odegaard. The ball is played across to Bukayo Saka. It's just behind him, and he picks it up over on the right-hand side on the corner of the penalty area. It's swung in there by Bukayo Saka, palmed out by Martinez and struck again on goal by Declan Rice. But it's a comfortable save in the end for Emi Martinez. And Arsenal really breaking away there for the first time, really breaking Aston Villa down there. And the cross by Bukayo Saka, palmed out by Emi Martinez, but the shot was not the best effort by Declan Rice, and we remain 0-0 with 7 minutes gone here at Villa Park. And here's Konsa, gives the ball to Cash. Cash plays the ball forward there to Morgan Rogers. Rogers just taking the ball back towards his own goal. Oh, kind of a dangerous ball across to Luka Dean there, and it goes away from Luka Dean and out of play, and that was a poor pass by Rogers, and it's going to be a throw into Arsenal almost level with the Villa penalty area. And it's going to be taken by Ben White, and he drops the ball there to Saliba. Saliba to Gabriel inside the centre circle now, and it's Timmer. Gabriel gives the ball to Declan Rice down the left-hand side. He's got Martinelli overlapping. Martinelli picks up the ball now. Cutting towards the middle of the half there is Martinelli, and he gives the ball to Timmer again. Timmer back to Thomas Partey. Partey launches the ball long, looking for that run by Bukayo Saka. Dealing with that well is Luka Dean. He heads the ball outside the penalty area. It's won by John McGinn. Heads it back to Dean. Dean tries to clear it, but it's blocked by Bukayo Saka. Comes back to John McGinn, and John McGinn lifts the ball forward to Luka Dean down the left-hand side. Is he brought down by Bukayo Saka? The referee says yes, and it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. 0-0 so far, 9 minutes gone. Thank you for joining us on the commentary hub for this afternoon's game between Aston Villa and Arsenal at Villa Park. We definitely appreciate you spending your time with us as Yuri Tielemans just plays the ball across to the edge of the penalty area there to Ezri Konsa. He releases it now to Matty Cash. Cash just inside his own half of the field, just puts his foot on the ball for a moment, takes his time, plays the ball down the right-hand side to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey drops the ball back there to Matty Cash again. On the halfway line now is Cash. He plays it into the centre circle to Ezri Konsa. Konsa looking at options left and right. He manages to find Amadou Onana, who goes down under the challenge from Kai Havertz, and it's going to be a free kick inside the centre circle for Aston Villa. And just looking at who is standing over this, well, moving away is Yuri Tielemans, and finally Ezri Konsa plays it. and he gives the ball to Pau Torres, to Luca Dean, back to Pau Torres, just inside his own half here, Torres, and he goes all the way back there to Konsa, who goes, in fact, all the way back to Emil Martinez. And the Golden Glove winner of the World Cup just releases it to Yuri Tielemans. Emi Martinez, many argue, is the best goalkeeper in the world right now. It's hard to argue that fact. There's good goalkeepers in the world right now, but Emi Martinez is just as good a shout as anybody else. As Thomas Partey wins the ball back there off Luca Dean and takes it back into his own half. Partey has the ball back now and he releases it to the captain, Martin Odegaard. Odegaard gives the ball there to Gabriel, who provides it to Saliba. Saliba just drops the ball back to David Raya in the Arsenal goal. Right now, not much in ways of attacking from either side. Arsenal coming the closest so far. Nothing really from a Villa standpoint. They seem comfortable just to sit back at the moment and try to catch Arsenal on the break. David Raya holds up the ball inside his own penalty area and finally releases it to Gabriel. Gabriel now midway inside his own half of the field. Gives it to the number 5, Thomas Partey, who gives it to Saliba. Back to Partey again. He's midway inside his own half now. He's got options left and right. He's got Gabriel. He's got Martinelli and Martin Odegaard just ahead of him. The ball is played long now for the chasing Jurrien Timmer. Cutting across there is Matty Cash, who plays it back to Martinez, and he clears the ball right-footed downfield. It's one in the air there by Saliba, and he heads it down to Odegaard. Odegaard gives it to Timmer in an advanced position. Back to Odegaard now, midway inside the Villa half of the field. It's played over to Ben White and now to Bukayo Saka down the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka holds the ball up to Martin Odegaard. Back to Ben White. And now across to Gabriel. Gabriel plays a really good ball to Gabriel Martinelli down the left-hand side. Martinelli now, he's got Cash in front of him. Can he beat him? Martinelli gets across to the back post, but it's away from Bukayo Saka. And he just manages to keep the ball in play. Gives the ball to Ben White. Ben White gives the ball now to the number 2, William Saliba. And the referee has called a halt to play. And I'm not sure why he did that. It's Matty Cash is actually clutching his hamstring. This isn't a head injury, but Michael Oliver has seen fit to stop the game, for the time being at least. As we take a look at this one again, Martinelli just getting towards that back post. And it just goes over Martinez's head, but also over Saka's head as well. Is still down is Matty Cash. Another long stoppage coming up, which means we could have an awful lot of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Scores in Serie A, our latest scores right now. Parma 1, AC Milan 0, and Udinese 1, Lazio 0. Both of those are only 20 minutes old. And in Ligue 1, Lyon 0, Monaco 2. They're in the last minute there. As Mikel Arteta is just giving out some instructions to his team. So far, Matty Cash is still down on the deck right now, so you're certainly not missing anything. As we look at Unai Emery, what a wonderful job he has done at Aston Villa in his time there, getting Aston Villa into a Champions League place, which is a huge achievement. Matty Cash is now on his feet. He'll, of course, have to go off for a short time. And then he will come on again momentarily. Looks a little frustrated there. Warming up is the number 30 there for Aston Villa. Or is it the number 20? Yes, I think it might be the number 20 for Aston Villa there, and that is Kosta Nedlakovic. And he is preparing to come on, so he may be replacing Matty Cash. We'll wait and see on that. The game is back underway now, and it's with Jurrien Timmer. Timmer holds the ball up, and he gives the ball to Martinelli. Martinelli just trying to skip away here from Leon Bailey, and cutting across to help is Morgan Rogers, and that ball goes out of play. It's now with Timmer, and Timmer is dispossessed by Morgan Rogers. That ball is played forward, but it's picked up by Gabriel. Gabriel wins it back, gives it to Thomas Partey, and then gets the ball back off William Saliba. Here's Declan Rice now. Gives the ball back to the number 6, Gabriel. It's launched into the penalty area and chested down by Pau Torres. Trying to break away is Yuri Tielemans, but that's won back by Partey. And here's Kai Havertz. Havertz gets the ball down the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Saka gives the ball to Martin Odegaard. Good ball by Odegaard to Saka. Saka puts inside with a shot and it's just wide. In fact, it's a wonderful save by Emi Martinez, who just gets down to his right-hand side to tip that ball behind for a corner. But what an opportunity for Bukayo Saka. He had a bit of space in the Villa penalty area, and it was a beautiful effort towards the right-hand side, but a fingertip save by Emi Martinez, which was equally impressive. Gets high fives off his teammates, but it's going to be a corner to Arsenal. And the Gunners now will have the opportunity to see if they can do something with this corner. We've played quarter of an hour here. Matty Cash seems to be making his way now towards the tunnel, so it looks like that substitute in fact is going to happen, or may have indeed already happened. We'll post you an update on that in just a moment, but the corner is going to be taken now by Declan Rice. It's swung in. Martinez goes down under the challenge. The ball is bouncing around there and it hits the crossbar, but it's considered to be a foul on Emi Martinez. Martinez went down, and I think it was Bukayo Saka that got the last touch that hit the crossbar, but he's got the free kick anyway. Let's take a look. Martinez seems to be more his own player than anything else. And in fact, it was Kai Havertz that got the final touch, but I didn't see a foul on Martinez there from any Arsenal player. Looked like it might have been his own man there. Just trying to get some confirmation of that substitute for you, whether that has actually happened or not. Because yes, Matty Cash has gone off, and Nedeljkovic has come on. So early substitution for Villa, forced by an injury to Matty Cash. Nedeljkovic is on, and he will be wearing number 20 for Aston Villa. 17 minutes gone here at Villa Park, and it is still 0-0. And here is Pau Torres. Tries to play the ball forward, but he only connects with Martin Odegaard, and it goes out of play. It's actually a throw-in for Arsenal, so it may have come off Pau Torres last. It's going to be Ben White that is going to take this throw-in. And it's Villa 0, Arsenal 0. We've played almost 18 minutes gone at Villa Park, and neither side really have had the ball really get many chances for either side. Of course, the best coming for Bukayo Saka, forcing that brilliant save out of Emi Martinez. And the ball is played forward now there by Pau Torres, and it's picked up there by the number 6 for Arsenal, Gabriel. Goes back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. And here's Gabriel now. 2 attempts there, only the 1 on target. It's a difference between the two sides. For Aston Villa, they haven't really created anything as of yet. And look, at the moment, second best to Arsenal for the time being, at least. And there's Saliba, gives the ball to Ben White. Ben White, midway inside his own half of the field. And he drops the ball to Saliba. Saliba, across to Ben White. Ben White holds the ball up and drops it back into the middle of his own half to Saliba. Timmer just picks up the ball and gives it back to Saliba. And this is Arsenal now just playing the ball around their own half of the field. Here's Declan Rice. Gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Inside the centre circle is Saliba. Saliba just looking for options left and right. And he finds Ben White. Ben White. Oh, it's a poor ball by Ben White. And it's picked up by Amadou Onana. And Onana charging forward now for Villa. And this is what Onana is good at. He gives the ball to Leon Bailey now. Leon Bailey drops the ball back there to the substitute Nedeljkovic, if I pronounce that right. Nedeljkovic, he is the substitute. And it's now taken up. We've got another player down now. We've had 3 long-term stoppages in this first half. And this time it's Douglas Luiz that's down this time. clutching his leg. And, well, looks like we're going to have another massive delay because Leon Bailey looks in a lot of pain there. And Leon Bailey down right now. And you see that the move again by Onana, just storming forward. He's very strong. And he gets forward into these advanced positions, creating chances. Leon, not sure what happened with Leon Bailey there. Nobody seemed to make contact with him. But he's down right now, and he looks in a lot of pain. He seems to be just having his foot massaged right now, as Unai Emery will not want a second injury, especially to a asset like Leon Bailey. But warming up there right now for Villa is Jadon Philogene. And he may well have to come on if Leon Bailey is not able to come back. But he's still down, is Bailey, and we've had a number of stoppages in this first half. And just to give you some idea of what's coming up on the channel tomorrow, JB is making his return tomorrow, doing main commentary for Liverpool versus Brentford. I'll be on co-commentating duties that day as the game is back underway, and it goes back to the goalkeeper. Leon Bailey now back on his feet. He's just trying to run the injury off a little bit. It's now back with Emi Martinez. Martinez throws it long over there, and it goes back to the goalkeeper, and it's picked up by Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz tries to play it long, looking for Yuri Tielemans, heading the ball almost out of play. There is William Saliba. It finally goes out, and it's going to be a throw into Villa midway inside their own half of the field, as we've played 21 minutes in this game between Villa and Arsenal. And it's back with Pau Torres now. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side from Arsenal's perspective, but the ball is played long, looking for Ollie Watkins, who has been a shadow basically in this first half, as Villa have opted just to sit back right now. Arsenal trying to create chances, definitely had the most possession early on. Here's William Saliba, plays the ball across to Ben White. Ben White holds the ball up, and it's given back to Saliba. Saliba now just outside the centre circle, as the ball is played across to Ben White. Ben White back to Saliba. Saliba goes long over to the left-hand side looking for Martinelli. It's a superb pass. Martinelli plays the ball forward to Declan Rice. He's not able to keep that ball in place as it just goes behind him. As it was a good move by Martinelli. Just plays a pass through Nedlakovic rather than trying to beat him for pace. And it goes behind anyway. The ball is just a bit too far away from Declan Rice. Arsenal now also have a bit of an injury concern of their own. Declan Rice just talking to the referee there. He's got something in his eye, I think, as Declan Rice, but the game is going to go on. Media radio jingle says, let's see if Arsenal can get some points. Yeah. It might be interesting to see if that happens today. At the moment, they have started very steady. They've created one or two opportunities. Let's see if Villa can respond with something of their own. Here is Thomas Partey. Midway inside his own half of the field. He was going to play the pass over the top to Kai Havertz. Chose to go instead back to William Saliba. Saliba gives the ball to Ben White. White back to Saliba. And across here to Gabriel, under pressure there. And that's much better from Villa. Here's Morgan Rogers. Oh, it's across to Ollie Watkins. What a chance. He puts it wide. What a chance for Ollie Watkins. And the first time that Villa really start to press Arsenal, they force Gabriel into a mistake. But what an opportunity here. It's one back, and the pass is played across there from Morgan Rogers to Ollie Watkins. He had so much time in the penalty area. He had about 5 yards of space. And oh, Unai Emery can't believe he's put that wide, and you'd have almost bet your house on it. Such was Ollie Watkins in that position. The interim England manager is also present, Lee Carsley. England, of course, just a couple of weeks or so away from the National League beginning. And here is on the ball there is Timmer. He runs the ball out of play. And Arsenal just a bit rattled by that breakdown in their defence. Here's Nedlakovic. And he's given the ball away himself to Kai Havertz. Here's Martin Odegaard. Ben White breaking on the right-hand side. Gives the ball back to Martin Odegaard now. Let's see what Arsenal can do. It's over again to Ben White, corner of the penalty area. Kai Havertz cuts into the penalty area, but it's blocked well there by Pau Torres. And he clears the ball away to Ollie Watkins, missing that gilt-edged opportunity. The only chance really that Villa have had in the whole game so far, that really should have been 1-0. But here's Bukayo Saka now, down the right, gives the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard tried to play the ball back to Saka, but it was a very poor ball. There was too much on it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And with 26 minutes gone here, we've just had a spark of excitement in the last few minutes. It's Villa 0, Arsenal 0. And Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says, I am an Arsenal fan, by the way, Paul. Truth be known, so am I. But I try to be neutral during these games. And here is Ezri Konsa. And it's back to Emil Martinez. This ball is played forward now, and it's picked up here by Martinelli for Arsenal. He knocks the ball back into his own half for Jurrien Timmer. Drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. And Raya plays the ball across to William Saliba. Saliba back to Raya. Gives the ball now, just picking up the ball there is William Saliba again. Arsenal now just picking it up with Jurrien Timmer. Of course, now playing again. He was out for all of last season. Really didn't get much chance to play apart from the first game of the season when he got injured against Nottingham Forest. It's now back with David Raya inside, just outside of his own penalty area. Holds the ball up and he plays it to Saliba. Saliba back to David Raya again, and David Raya plays the ball short here to Gabriel. Gabriel forward to Thomas Partey. He tries to play the ball forward for Odegaard, but it's comfortably won by Pau Torres. But he only succeeds in giving the ball back to Ben White. Ben White plays the ball forward to the captain, Martin Odegaard, and he drops the ball back inside his own half now. And here's Gabriel now over the halfway line for the Gunners. And it's across there to Saliba. Saliba to Ben White. White forward to Thomas Partey and across to Martin Odegaard down the right-hand side. Corner of the penalty area here is Bukayo Saka. Back to Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey back to Bukayo Saka. Again, corner of the penalty area, but he falls backwards and he loses the ball, and that's comfortably picked up there by Luca Dean, who plays the ball to John McGinn. Back to Luca Dean, trying to play Morgan Rogers forward, but cutting across and making the interception is Thomas Partey, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. And we are still Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0 at Villa Park. As this game has significant meaning for both of these teams, both of them undefeated in their start to the season. Arsenal, of course, will want to stay up and close with Manchester City, will not want to be giving up points. Villa finishing in 4th place last season. They're looking to cement a regular place in the top 4. As here's Luca Dean, gives the ball to McGinn. McGinn tries to swing the ball in, it's blocked. And that was Morgan Rogers rather for Villa, not John McGinn. As we take a look again at Ollie Watkins, he's probably still running through his mind how that chance was missed for Aston Villa. The throw-in is going to be taken here by Luca Dean, and he can get some distance on these throw-ins. It's level with the Arsenal penalty area, and it's long, and it just ends up going over Rogers' head and behind for a goal kick. So not much in terms of entertainment and excitement in this game so far. It's still delicately poised at 0 apiece, but Villa have certainly come into the game more in the last 10 minutes or so. Here is Gabriel. He gives the ball there to Saliba. Saliba midway inside his own half of the field. And he just drops the ball to Ben White and does a quick 1-2 with Martin Odegaard. Back there to the number 2, Saliba again. Saliba just holds the ball up and drops the ball there to Ben White. Ben White plays the ball out on the right-hand side to Saka. Saka, it was a late challenge on Saka there. He gave the ball to Martin Odegaard, and finally Michael Oliver blows up as he wanted to see if there was an advantage there. Luca Dean disagrees with that, but it did look a late challenge by the Frenchman. Let's take a look again. Yes, it was after the ball had been played by Saka, so it is a free kick. Thomas Partey just gives the ball there to Gabriel to Jurrien Timmer. Timmer just pulls the ball back into his own half and gives it to Saliba, who releases the ball to Gabriel one more time. Well, that's a really good layoff there that time by Declan Rice. And it's Martinelli now for Arsenal. He gives the ball to Kai Havertz. Back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice swings across towards the other side of the penalty area looking for Bukayo Saka. It was headed out that time, but only as far as John McGinn, who is fouled by Thomas Partey, and he plays the ball quickly out to Morgan Rogers down the left-hand side. Cutting into the penalty area is Rogers. Oh, he was looking for Leon Bailey, but he was not able to find him. And now Declan Rice coming forward and plays the ball down the left-hand side to Martinelli. Martinelli cuts inside and across there to Thomas Partey. He's about 30 yards out, tries a shot, does Partey, but it's over Emi Martinez's crossbar, and it's a goal kick. It's a quick breakout by Arsenal there, but it doesn't result in anything, and we are still 0-0. Yes, and we've got a comment by Russell Vernon in the private chat. He said it sounds like a big miss. Looks like he should have scored that. Well, if you're watching on Match of the Day later, Ross, you'll probably see it. It was a gilt-edged chance, and he just put it wide. Maybe he thought he was in an offside position. I don't know, but it was a gilt-edged opportunity for Ollie Watkins. One of his quality, you'd expect him to put it away. Here is William Saliba, clashes with John McGinn, and the referee has given the free kick in favour of Aston Villa. But Saliba is still down, just being helped up now. Saliba, it might have been for the foul there on Ollie Watkins. It probably was, in fact, because he was holding on to Ollie Watkins. And it is a free kick to Aston Villa. It's just about a yard inside from the touchline on the left-hand side. And I'd say about midway inside the Arsenal half of the field. And standing over this is Yuri Tielemans. And he is going to swing this one in. Arsenal lining up their defence on the 18-yard line. And it's swung in. The heads go up. It goes to the edge of the area. Just trying to win that ball back is Morgan Rogers, but he's dispossessed, and here's Kai Havertz. Odegaard slips the ball there to Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays the ball through to Kai Havertz. He's got Timmer and Saka in the middle. He tries to play the ball in the middle, but Leon Bailey is there, and it's picked up by John McGinn, who drops it to Morgan Rogers. But that was a breakout by Arsenal and a real chance, but the ball into the middle really wasn't the best by Kai Havertz. And the ball is now picked up in the middle of the park by Onana. That's a long ball looking for Ollie Watkins. Tracking him is William Saliba. Watkins takes the ball to the corner flag on the left-hand side. He's under pressure by Saliba. Saliba almost dispossessed him. Is he fouled there? Oh, and Ben White just rattles the ball off John McGinn. And John McGinn is not happy with that. And all of a sudden there's a gathering together over by that touchline on the far side. Substitutes coming on the pitch trying to separate the two teams. I am not sure whether I don't believe that was done on purpose by William Saliba, but John McGinn took exception to it immediately. The referee has blown up. Let's take a look at this again. The shirt is being pulled by Saliba there, and Saliba goes down very easily. Saliba goes down very easily. That's not a free kick. And it's Ben White that tried to clear the ball again. Not sure if he deliberately whacked it against John McGinn or not. But there really wasn't a foul on Saliba there. He goes down very, very easily. And I think that may be what some of the exception might be. As we take a look again as the ball to Kai Havertz. He's onside, Havertz, and Bukayo Saka was making his way into the penalty. It was just a poor ball, really. Too easy for Leon Bailey to deal with. But we remain 0-0 with 10 minutes to go until the break at Villa Park. And Arsenal have the free kick, and it's going to be taken by David Raya. It's just over by that touchline, and Villa, well, they'll be reasonably happy with the first half. They took a while to get into the game, but they have started to get into the game now, and it's much more of an even contest, but not really chances created by either side. Both teams sort of cancelling each other out right now. Here's Timmer. Timmer drops the ball back to Gabriel. It's about 35 yards out. Gabriel plays it to Timmer. Timmer gets in the penalty area, but it's just cleared away by Ezri Konsa there. Only as far as Gabriel, who plays the ball into his own half to William Saliba, spending a little bit too much time on the ball and better pressing than Villa as Leon Bailey tries to get the ball off Saliba and he plays it back to David Raya. Raya gives the ball to Ben White. Midway inside his own half to Thomas Partey. Just over the halfway line to Declan Rice and down the left-hand side here to Martinelli. Martinelli is cutting into the penalty area now. He holds the ball up, does Martinelli. He's got Declan Rice alongside him. Just challenging there is Nedlakovic. It's dropped back to Declan Rice. It's crossed towards the back post looking for Saka. It's only headed out there by Luca Dean as far as Odegaard. Odegaard is not able to beat the Aston Villa defence, and offside there is Bukayo Saka, who picks the ball up in an offside position, and it's going to be a free kick to the Villains inside their own half. Inside their own penalty area. Well, as the clock ticks towards half-time, at half-time we'll take a break, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. 69% possession for Arsenal in this first half so far. 31% for Villa. 3 attempts by Arsenal, 1 for Villa. And that was that Ollie Watkins chance that we spoke about earlier. Here's Leon Bailey. Tries to play the ball forward, but that is comfortably intercepted by Gabriel. Gabriel just holds the ball up and gives it to Declan Rice. He drops the ball back to Timmer. Timmer gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up. Just outside the centre circle, inside his own half is Partey, just slowing the game right down. Partey lifts the ball forward, looking for Martin Odegaard, but Ezri Konsa just cuts across and gets the ball back to the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, who waits for Odegaard and finally clears the ball downfield. As Partey, though, picks up the ball midway inside the Villa half, gives the ball to Ben White. Ben White is about 40 yards out now, slips the ball to Kai Havertz, to Odegaard. Odegaard, Saka. White is overlapping. White getting into the penalty area now. He pulls the ball back and there's nobody there for Arsenal. Oh boy, Ben White must be furious with that. Nobody gambling for Arsenal there. That had a clear shot on goal from about 12 yards. Here's Martinelli though again for Arsenal. Plays the ball across there to Declan Rice. Rice to Partey. Over onto the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka again. Luca Dean in front of him. John McGinn doubling up on Bukayo Saka. Here's Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey plays the ball in there for Declan Rice. He's about 30 yards out. Oh, that's a really good ball to Martinelli. Martinelli plays the ball across the penalty area. Kai Havertz just not able to control it, and it bounces off him and goes behind for a goal kick. So we are still Villa 0, Arsenal 0, waiting for the first goal at Villa Park. But Arsenal there, that was a really good ball by Declan Rice to Martinelli, but Martinelli's ball whipped across the 6-yard box was not controlled well by Kai Havertz, as the German just had a wonderful season last season for Arsenal and a very good European Championships, but he scored last week. Today he's not had a couple of instances where he's not been at his best. We'll see if that changes as the game goes on. And here is Pau Torres. Torres almost runs into 2 Arsenal players and only just gets it back to Emi Martinez, and there's a late challenge on the Spaniard. He's clutching the bottom of his foot as we are going to get more injury time. And I can tell you we are going to have a chunk of it in this first half. As he's being helped onto his feet now by Emi Martinez. But yes, that was a stamp on the foot by Kai Havertz. Late challenge, no doubt by accident, but it was late nevertheless. And probably should be a free kick to Aston Villa, really, there. It has, in fact, been given. And standing over the ball there, gives it back to Emil Martinez, and Amadou Onana just drops the ball here to Ezri Konsa. 5 minutes to go until the break. Konsa gives the ball back to Onana again. Onana, big signing from Everton. Here's Morgan Rogers. Rogers holds up the ball well. This is good play by Rogers. An inspired run by Morgan Rogers. Gets into the penalty area. Morgan Rogers still. Oh, he plays the ball across and just mishandled there really by David Raya, but he grasps it at the second attempt. But what play by Morgan Rogers. Dances inside the penalty area and he tries to pull the ball across, and David Raya just got there at the second attempt ahead of Leon Bailey. That really could have been 1-0 to Villa. But what a wonderful, inspired run by Morgan Rogers. And here is Thomas Partey now for Arsenal. Partey across to Gabriel. Back to Partey again. And Partey just holds the ball up, gives the ball there to Gabriel, and back to Thomas Partey. Good ball forward there to Declan Rice. Declan Rice has got Martinelli overlapping. He's going to go to the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka, and Dean automatically comes towards him. He gives the ball to Ben White, and Ben White being forced back by John McGinn. And now it's Arsenal back into their own half. Good pressing by Villa. It's now with Gabriel. Gabriel holds the ball up. Gives the ball there to William Saliba. Saliba across to Ben White again. Ben White just inside his own half of the field. Holds the ball up and gives the ball to Saliba again as Arsenal slowly pace down in this game. And it's Thomas Partey now just over the halfway line. Looking for options left and right. Plays the ball through there to Kai Havertz. Beautiful flick on there to Odegaard. He slips the ball to Bukayo Saka down the right. It's now Odegaard. Back to Saka. Back to Ben White. Lifts the ball into the middle. It's just cleared away there by Leon Bailey and headed back in towards Odegaard. Odegaard heads it down to Partey. Is Partey fouled there? The referee says no. And Yuri Tielemans plays it to Morgan Rogers. It's Villa on the break now. 3-on-3 if they hurry. Morgan Rogers across to Leon Bailey, but his pass is a very, very poor one. And it's cleared out of play by Gabriel. But that was a promising break by Aston Villa. But a poor ball that time by Leon Bailey, and it's cleared out of play. But they do have a throw in Villa. It's taken quickly by Nedlakovic, and it's across now to Luka Dean. Luka Dean back there to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans to Ezri Konsa. Konsa holds the ball up, gives the ball across there to Pau Torres. Torres has got options left and right. He's got Morgan Rogers up there, who's shown himself to be a bit of a threat for Villa in this first half. Here's Konsa. Konsa holds the ball up, played forward there to Ollie Watkins. Really good ball by Ollie Watkins to Rogers. Rogers tries to get a shot away. It bounces loose to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey tries to get the shot away, but it's too close to David Raya. And in the end, that is a comfortable save for the Spaniard. But Morgan Rogers, once again, at the centre of it. And it broke loose for Leon Bailey. But, well, Morgan Rogers showing himself to be a bit of a threat in this first half for Arsenal as we go into the last minute of this half. And we'll see how much injury time is added on. I can only imagine there not being really less than about 6 or 7 minutes, if I'm being honest. It might even be longer than that. It is Gabriel across there to William Saliba. Saliba, a cross to Ben White. And Ben White goes for the long ball over to the left-hand side to Martinelli. Martinelli now has got Nedlakovic in front of him. Martinelli goes to the touchline. He gets the cross in, but Martinelli had run the ball out of play, ran out of space and time there, did Martinelli, and it's going to be a goal kick to Aston Villa. Just see how much stoppage time is added on at the end of this first half. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. Thank you for joining us. for this game today, for spending your valuable time with us to listen to this commentary. My name is Paul James, bringing you this game from the commentary hub, and the ball is cleared downfield by Emi Martinez as we now go into stoppage time. We're still waiting for the fourth official, Darren England, to raise his board, and the ball is now and Martinelli now is just pushed out of play there, and it's now picked up by Morgan Rogers. Rogers dropped the ball forward to Ollie Watkins. Watkins, it's a poor ball, and now Arsenal can break away. Kai Havertz almost dispossessed there by Yuri Tielemans. We have 6 minutes stoppage time and at the end of this first half, and here is Gabriel. Gabriel gives the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays it into the centre circle just inside his own half to Saliba. Saliba drops the ball to Jurrien Timmer down the left-hand side. Gives the ball back to Gabriel. Gabriel goes long to the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka. Cutting across there is Luca Dean and heads the ball out of play for a throw into Arsenal. Into this stoppage time now at the end of this first half at Villa Park. And it's going to be taken there by Ben White for Aston Villa. Ben White holds the ball up and he decides to throw the ball then to Kai Havertz. Havertz back to Saka. Oh, that's a really solid challenge that time by Yuri Tielemans. And it goes all the way across to William Saliba, who goes back to his own goalkeeper, David Ray, who's midway way out of his penalty area, midway inside his own half of the field. As here's Thomas Partey. 2 shots on target for Arsenal, 1 for Villa. And that, of course, was from the Leon Bailey there. It was not a tame effort really in the end. Here's Bukayo Saka, holds the ball up and drops the ball to Ben White. White to Odegaard, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Odegaard slips the ball across there to Havertz. Back to Gabriel. Gabriel lifts the ball over to Martinelli. First time crossed by Martinelli. Oh, headed out that time by Onana. And Onana it goes to Leon Bailey. And he goes back to Konsu, clears the ball downfield to the halfway line. It's won there by Saliba. And Saliba only heads it really as far as Tielemans. And Timmer is adjudged to have fouled Tielemans. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. And it's going to be just inside their own half of the field. Still 0-0 here as we've played 2.5 minutes of the 6 minutes allotted time. It's Tielemans again. He drops the ball back to Nedlakovic. Nedlakovic drops the ball back to Konsa, and Konsa gives the ball to the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, as Villa will build up from the back again. Martinez just lifts the ball over to Dean. Dean plays the ball forward to John McGinn. John McGinn trying to turn away from Thomas Partey. He gets away from Thomas Partey and gives the ball to Rogers. Rogers just tries to beat Thomas Partey there, and he does. Here's Morgan Rogers again. This time he's fouled by Declan Rice, and it's going to be a yellow card for the England international for that foul on Morgan Rogers on the 3rd minute of stoppage time. It's good work by Morgan Rogers again, and he's tripped this time by Declan Rice, and it's going to be a free kick. And Declan Rice, look at just pulling his socks up. Morgan Rogers, well, he knows he's been a bit of a threat in this first half to that Arsenal defence, and no doubt he'll be told by Unai Emery to keep running at them, keep pressing them to see if they can get anything out of this Arsenal defence. A free kick is taken by Luca Dean. It's a really poor free kick, and chasing this one down is Yuri Tielemans, but he only manages to send the ball back towards the Arsenal corner flag, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Unai Emery will probably be very happy with this first half. Villa a little late coming into the game, but they have since about the 20th minute mark, they've certainly been equal to Arsenal in every capacity. Mikel Arteta, well, perhaps despite all the possession they've had, they've not created enough, in my opinion. And I think he's going to want to address that at half-time as we go into the last 90 seconds of stoppage time. And the goal kick is taken by David Raya downfield, headed down by Onana. Won back by Odegaard, who plays the ball forward into the Villa half and cleared away by Tielemans. It's now picked up again, though, by William Saliba. Forward to Thomas Partey. Partey just drops the ball back into his own half and he gets the ball back off Ben White. Here's Bukayo Saka. He's fouled there that time by Amadou Onana, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Bukayo Saka just gets to his feet. The challenge from the side there, nowhere near the ball. Definitely a free kick. And Amadou Onana. And the referee is going over now to have a word with Mikel Arteta as he continues to argue with the fourth official there in England, and a warning by referee Michael Oliver at Mikel Arteta just to cool it a little bit. And here is William Saliba, bang on the halfway line, gives the ball to Ben White. Ben White now just plays the ball back to William Saliba. Saliba forward to Yurian Timmer, who takes the ball back into his own half, as Arsenal at the moment not really able to break down Aston Villa really at the moment. Chances have been a premium for them really. Martinez forced into one big save from Saka in the first half. Here's Gabriel just inside his own half of the field. It's played forward to Timmer again. That's a really good ball to Martinelli down the left-hand side. And he drops the ball back to Timmer again. Timmer's ball is a poor one, and the referee has blown for half-time. So it's half-time at Villa Park. Chances for both sides, not least for Bukayo Saka. A curling shot that was beautifully tipped away by Emil Martinez. Best chance of the first half, falling to Ollie Watkins. Nobody within 5 yards of him inside the penalty area, but he put the shot wide. At half-time, it's Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. We'll be back for the start of the second half. Join us then. Welcome back to the start of this second half. Aston Villa back out for the start of the second half. Doesn't appear to be any changes by either side. And we're going to get this game underway. Villa will be attacking the Holt end in the second half at Villa Park. Arsenal to get us underway in the second half. Standing on the ball right now is Thomas Partey. And he's about to get us underway here. Thomas Partey just plays the ball all the way back to David Raya, and it's cleared downfield. Just going up in the air there is the number 29, Kai Havertz. He heads it on. He was looking for Bukayo Saka, but Luka Dean was tracking him, and it goes behind for a goal kick. As we take a look at the Arsenal captain, Martin Odegaard. And wearing the captain's armband for Aston Villa is today, which I don't believe I mentioned earlier on, is Yuri Tielemans. As Morgan Rogers just tries to play the ball forward, but it's won back by Martin Odegaard. He drops the ball back to Thomas Partey, who gives it back to the goalkeeper. So 0-0 still here. And it's picked up here by William Saliba, and he gives the ball there to Gabriel. Gabriel just holds the ball up and gives it back to Saliba, as Arsenal once again opting to just keep the ball within their own half for the time being, looking for ways in which they can break down this Aston Villa defence, which they've had a great deal of difficulty doing in the first half. They will certainly want to create more opportunities with the possession that they've had. Here is Timmer. Timmer just gives the ball there to Saliba. Saliba holds the ball up. And here's Timmer again. And he gives the ball to Gabriel. This is just passing between the four defenders right now. Here is Gabriel. And Gabriel across there to Saliba. And at the moment, Arsenal just keeping the ball. This is almost like a training session right now for Arsenal. Just holding the ball up. They're not really going anywhere with it right now. Villa just happy to sit back and allow Arsenal to have possession. As here's Saliba. Tries to get the ball forward to Kai Havertz. Havertz drops the ball back to Saliba again. And there's Ben White. Nice ball to Bukayo Saka. Saka just pulls back, and again he's forced to send the ball back into his own half of the field. Long ball there by Ben White, looking for the chasing Declan Rice, but it's away from him and goes through to Emi Martinez in the Villa goal. And it seems to be much the way the first half started. Arsenal unable to really break down this Villa team. Whenever they get into the Villa half of the field, they've just flooded the midfield of Aston Villa and made it very difficult, forcing Arsenal to go over the top. And it's picked up in the middle of the park there by Gabriel, but there's a foul by Saliba, and it's going to be a free kick for the foul on Ollie Watkins. So it's 0-0, and want to thank you again for joining us for this game. I know it's not the most exciting game at the moment, hoping to bring you some goals. Here's Ollie Watkins. Watkins plays the ball, but it's a poor ball, in fact, to Gabriel. Gabriel, good, but, well, it's not really. He was looking for a through ball for Bukayo Saka, but there was a bit too much meat on that ball, and it goes all the way through to Emi Martinez in the Aston Villa goal. He just holds onto the ball. I'm sure Villa will be happy just to take their time with this, and eventually he just picks the ball up with Kai Havertz within close proximity. Here's Konsa. Konsa plays the ball forward there to Rogers. Rogers just turning away there, Morgan Rogers, and he drops the ball there back to Amadou Onana. Onana back to Pau Torres. Torres plays the ball long. Oh, that's nicely brought down toward, well, it was looking to bring the ball down for John McGinn, but in fact he only finds Bukayo Saka. Here's Bukayo Saka now down the right-hand side. Good ball to White. Back to Saka. Partey. Partey just turning away there from Watkins, and he plays the ball across there to Gabriel. Back to Partey, just turning away again from Watkins. Good ball down the right-hand side there to Ben White. White has Luca Dean in front of him, plays the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard. Just inside from the touchline is Martin Odegaard. Gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Quick 1-2 there with Bukayo Saka. Again, Bukayo Saka picks up the ball. Good ball to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard now just holds up the ball on the corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Oh, Martin Odegaard is dispossessed there. Good work by Yuri Tielemans. Finds John McGinn. McGinn, that's a really, really good ball to Morgan Rogers now. Morgan Rogers gets the ball over onto the right-hand side. And storming forward here is Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey drops the ball back there. He was going to try to drop the ball back to Nedlicovic. Eventually, he tries to find Amadou Onana, and he eventually goes to Yuri Tielemans. Onana is on the ball now. Across to Pau Torres. Pau Torres down this right-hand side to Luca Dean. Luca Dean holds up the ball. And across to Pau Torres. Torres does a quick 1-2 there with Yuri Tielemans. It's now with Ezra Konsa. Back inside the centre circle. Here's Onana now. Onana back to Konsa once more. And Konsa holds up the ball. Gives the ball to Tielemans. Tielemans just turns away there. Good work by him. And it's now down with Luca Dean down the left-hand side. And the ball is with John McGinn. And Luca Dean again chasing it down. But Ben White cutting across. And David Raya will cut up and pluck that ball out of the air as it took a deflection in the air. Releases it quickly, looking for Kai Havertz. But Havertz just clashes there with Ezri Konsa. And Havertz remains down. Let's just take a look at this clash here with Konsa. He sees Konsa coming and he steps into Konsa. That's interesting from Kai Havertz. It just looked like he stepped into Konsa there. Because he definitely saw him. He turned his back and looked at him. 7 minutes gone in the second half. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. And a comment in the comment section. Tom Payton, hi Paul, can I just wish JB a happy brother's wedding day, and I hope that JB himself isn't too hungover today. Yes, well, it's happy to do that for you, Tom. Yes, congratulations to your brother JB and his wife. I hope they both have many happy, wonderful years together. And JB will be with us tomorrow for the Commentary Hub's next instalment, which will be Liverpool versus Brentford. And it is a game that JB will be back on for, and I will be in the co-commentator's chair for that, as John McGinn is fouled that time. And it's going to be a free kick for Aston Villa as John McGinn makes a quick run, but Pau Torres is just holding the ball up rather than taking a quick free kick this time, and instead decides to go back to Emi Martinez inside the Villa penalty area, and he plays the ball to Ezri Konsa. Konsa holds up the ball there under pressure from Kai Havertz. Havertz wins the ball back, but he's alleged to have fouled Konsa. And he protests, but Michael Oliver is given that free kick. And and it goes back to Martinez. And yeah, that was quite funny, that Emi Martini. Shaken, not stirred. And here's John McGinn. John McGinn down the left-hand side, and overlapping there is Luca Dean, and it's played into Rogers. Rogers plays the ball across, and it takes a deflection, and onto the crossbar, but what a save! Oh my goodness me, what a save! Oh, that will go down as one of the saves of the season. Oh, well, that took a deflection over Reyes' head. It then hit the crossbar, and let's just take a look at this again. The shot was from the Aston Villa forward Leon Bailey. It took a deflection, it hit the crossbar, And then heading it towards the goal was Ollie Watkins, but making the reaction save there was David Raya. And that is Ollie Watkins' second opportunity to give Villa the lead. And that is the closest we've come to a goal. And it's now with Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up. It's headed out there, that time by Douglas Luiz. And John McGinn just tries to break away from Martin Odegaard, but it's a good challenge by Odegaard. The throw-in is for Arsenal. And here's Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey holds the ball up. Gives the ball there to the number 2, William Saliba. Saliba plays the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard skips into the penalty area. Martin Odegaard, can he get through there? No, he can't. He's blocked out. And Yuri Tielemans can come away with the ball now. Tielemans plays the ball long. And chasing it down here is Leon Bailey. And he wins it ahead of Timmer. Leon Bailey gets into the penalty area now. Bailey holds the ball up. His shot took the deflection and it hit the crossbar earlier on. With that header then following in from Ollie Watkins and a super save from David Raya. And somehow we are still 0-0. But I honestly thought that once that ball had broken loose to Ollie Watkins, that he might have just put that one into the net, but it somehow stayed out. As we look at it again, Leon Bailey's shot took a deflection off Gabriel. It hit the crossbar, and then the flying header from Ollie Watkins. And the goalkeeper appeared to be down, and then he gets up and he makes that save. It was a sparkling save. Villa coming forward now. And there's a clash with Amadou Onana. Play goes on. And here's Rodgers into the penalty area. Gets another shot away. It takes another deflection, this time off Declan Rice. And goes behind for a corner. And it looks like the yellow card is coming out. And let's take a look. It's probably for the challenge on Onana, yes. To be a yellow card for Gabriel. It's the second Arsenal player in the referee's notebook today. 57 minutes, that yellow card. Gabriel goes into Michael Oliver's naughty book, and it's a free kick. 57 minutes gone here. Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0. But my goodness me, we've come close. And this is going to be a corner for Aston Villa. Yuri Tielemans is over it, but I'm just not quite sure the other one is over there, but Tielemans is standing over it. Corner being held up here. And Michael Oliver now finally allowing the corner to be taken. I'm just thinking the other one, the other person there, I'm not sure who it is. It says to be Consa maybe, but the corner is going to be taken, and it's going to be taken by Tielemans. It's outswung, and there's a header by Onana, but it is well over the crossbar. Free header there by Onana. He might have thought about that he might have done better there. Manages to head it over the crossbar though, gets his head underneath it rather than over it. Onana making the late run and getting that header too. It's a chance, it has to be said. And I do wonder how long it will be before Arsenal look at making some changes on the bench. Or right now on the Arsenal bench, they've got some options in a forward position. Ethan Nwaneri, Eddie Nketiah, and Leandro Trossard. You have to think that Trossard would probably be the favourite. I wonder how long it will be before we see the Belgian. Here is Saliba, gives the ball to Gabriel. Gabriel holds the ball up, back to Saliba. And there is Ben White, as Arsenal once again seem to be running out of ideas with possession on the ball. They just don't seem to find any way to break this Villa rearguard down, and the midfield so packed as it is. As the ball is forward now there to Odegaard. Odegaard now gives it to Saka down the right-hand side. Let's see what Bukayo Saka can do. He's got Luca Dean in front of him. He plays it short back to Odegaard. Odegaard swings it towards the back post, but Emir Martinez comes out and makes a superb catch there just before it lands on the head of Kai Havertz. That's really good play by Emir Martinez, coming out and reading that really well. and it's going to be a referee has stopped play. In fact, let's just have a look what for exactly. Oh, there was a clash of heads between Thomas Partey and Ollie Watkins, so we're going to have an additional stoppage here. Thomas Partey's back on his feet, and so is Watkins. The ball is given back to Emi Martinez, and he's looking to release it. He's taking his time. He's just going to allow Kai Havertz to approach him before he picks up the ball, and he releases it there to Ezri Konsa. Konsa now coming forward for Aston Villa. Oh, just nipping inside there is John McGinn, but it's also picked up the loose ball there by Amadou Onana. Good run by Onana. Gives the ball to John McGinn. Really nice ball to Ollie Watkins now. Watkins cuts into the penalty area. Watkins, oh, he runs right into Thomas Partey. The referee says play on. Pau Torres tackles Havertz from behind, gets a free kick. It's taken quickly, and here's Gabriel Martinelli in front of Nerkovic. Martinelli still maintains possession, and finally Morgan Rogers comes in up and dispossesses him. And now maybe Villa can come on the break with Morgan Rogers. He's got Ollie Watkins up alongside him, and also Leon Bailey. Here's Rogers with a shot, and it goes wide, but once again, an inspired run by Morgan Rogers, who has been absolutely fantastic for Villa in this first half, just cutting through that Arsenal midfield like they're not even there. It's they stand off him, and he just makes his way past Thomas Partey inside the just inside the penalty area. Tries a curling shot. It's a disappointing finish, really. Might have taken a deflection along the way. Indeed, it has. It's going to be a corner to Villa. And we're just going to see who is going to take this corner. Packing the penalty area, Onana is in there. Bailey is in there. Ollie Watkins. It's that 6-yard box is very crowded for David Raya right now, as he tries to jostle to try to see what's going on. Leon Bailey over it, but also Yuri Tielemans. It's going to be Tielemans. It's swung in towards the goalkeeper. Good punch by David Raya. As far as Nedlakovic. Nedlakovic drops the ball back there to the number 12, Luca Dean, who heads it back to Emi Martinez. He clears it right-footed downfield. It's brought down well there by Leon Bailey. Bailey swings the ball into the middle, looking for Ollie Watkins, but it's too far ahead of the England international and goes straight through to David Raya. Back up for Spain in the Euros. Picked up a winner's medal. Thomas Partey gives the ball there to Jurrien Timmer. And here's Ben White. Ben White just inside his own half of the field. He drops the ball back to Saliba. Inside the centre circle. Has the ball now is Ben White. Good ball down the right-hand side to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard overlapping here now is Bukayo Saka. He's got Ben White in front of him. Saka, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side's got Luca Dean in front of him. Crossed in by Saka towards the back post. Good header out there by Watkins. Headed out again by Luca Dean, and it's brought down well by Leon Bailey. And it's cleared forward now, looking for Ollie Watkins, but cutting across well is William Saliba, cutting that pass out to Watkins. Thomas Partey gives it to Odegaard. Good ball down the right-hand side there to Kai Havertz. And here's Bukayo Saka. Saka cuts inside. Across there to Timmer. Timmer drops the ball back there to Partey. Edge of the penalty area now. It's Bukayo Saka to Odegaard. Odegaard turns. Here's a chance for Saka. Oh, he tries to get the shot away. Martinez gets a hand on it and pushes it away. Really brave goalkeeping by Emi Martinez. And here's Leon Bailey. And here's Onana. Tielemans. Quick 1-2 with Morgan Rogers. And now Onana storming forward now. He's got Ollie Watkins ahead of him. He'll hold the ball up here, Onana. And he's fouled by Thomas Partey. And that'll be a free kick. And Onana has to be... Gabriel will have to be careful. The ball is... His Arsenal breaking forward here with Saka. It's a good pass. It looks like though he may have strayed offside, Saka. tried to get the shot away, but it's really brave goalkeeping by Emi Martinez as a substitution has just taken place. It's Villa's second substitution of the night. Ollie Watkins is off, and I'm just trying to see who it is that's come on for the Villains. Also, there's John McGinn gone off as well. So McGinn and Watkins are off, and Duran and Ramsey are on. Now, that's an interesting change. So John Duran and Jacob Ramsey are on for Aston Villa, and it's going to be a free kick. So Ollie Watkins on second and third substitutions, and Trossard has just come on for Arsenal, and that will probably be for Gabriel Martinelli. So Arsenal have just made a substitution. I'm not surprised that we're seeing Leandro Trossard. So quick substitution from both teams. A free kick is taken quickly. It's swung towards the back post and knocked on. Oh, that was almost in by Konsa. Oh, he got the touch on, and it looked for all the world like it was going to sneak into the far post. The free kick was taken quickly, and it was just hooked towards the goal by Konsa, and that looked like it was heading in, and it just went wide. My goodness me, that was a fraction away by Konsa. It was just a knock on. It wasn't even really a shot, and it was just a knock on, but it just was away from Raya, and instead just went wide of the target. But wow, a chance for Villa as Villa come close again, as it has to be argued that Villa really have become the closest out of the two teams to scoring in this game, and have definitely had the better chances. Here's Ben White now for Villa. Let's see for Arsenal. Let's see if Arsenal can remedy that. Here is Bukayo Saka. Saka has got the number 41 Jacob Ramsey in front of him, and the ball is played across there to Gabriel Odegaard, and it's down to Saka, cutting across and making a challenge there. It's a good one by the number 12 Luca Dean, but Saka wins the ball back, gets the cross in, it breaks loose and it's a goal. Arsenal have scored. It's a substitute, Leandro Trossard, and Arsenal are in the lead. And it has to be said, it's against the run of play, but Arsenal are in the lead. It's Leandro Trossard. The ball just broke loose in the penalty area, and Leandro Trossard was there to just put the ball past the goalkeeper, and Arsenal take a 1-goal lead at Villa Park. Well, we'll take a look at this one again just to get a look at what exactly happened here, because it just seemed to break loose in the penalty area for Trossard. There didn't really appear to be any threat. It was Saka who had the ball down the right-hand side. He was challenged by Luca Dean, and Odegaard then found Saka again. Saka just got the cross in. It was just kept inside, and it just missed. Well, it came off Rodgers, didn't it, in the end? It came off Rodgers. The cross came in, and it looks like it just hit Rodgers. It was very unlucky for Rodgers because he went for the ball, and so did Kai Havertz. Havertz knocked the ball onto Rodgers' leg, and it then broke loose for Trossard, and he just put it in the bottom left-hand corner. Emi Martinez, no chance with that. First time hit by Leandro Trossard. And Arsenal take the 1-goal lead on 68 minutes. Leandro Trossard is the goal scorer. And well, Mike Harneman says, "Hi Paul, what a save that was from Raya, unbelievable goalkeeping. We're not playing good at all, lacking a striker massively." And then Leo, it's a goal kick, and Leandro Trossard got the goal. And I agree with you, Mike. Arsenal definitely lacking a striker right now. They desperately need a number 9, but I am not sure really whether that's the whole story, in the sense that the chances created have not been at their best either for Arsenal today. They look a bit out of shape today. But here's Declan Rice. They have the lead regardless, and that's usually the mark of a champion, a team that can play bad and still win games. Here's Odegaard. And he gives the ball there to Thomas Partey. Partey to Odegaard. Odegaard now he's about 35 yards out. He plays the ball there to Ben White down the right-hand side. Odegaard. Dropped back by Kai Havertz. And it's now Thomas Partey. Partey, good ball to Kai Havertz. Havertz gives the ball to Odegaard. Havertz still unable to keep possession, and Villa struggling to clear the ball as well. Finally, Jacob Ramsey gives the ball to Luca Dean, who tries to clear it, and it comes off Bukayo Saka and goes out of play as Bukayo Saka trying to raise those Arsenal fans in that corner at Villa Park. Plenty of them have made the trip. It's not an enormously long journey. Luca Dean takes a throw in, and he only manages to find the substitute there, which is John Duran. And Villa win the ball back though. And here is Duran. Duran under pressure here. It's a nice ball to Ramsey. Ramsey now gives the ball to Rodgers. Back to Ramsey. Ramsey at the edge of the penalty area tries to play the ball through to Rodgers, but Arsenal there with Gabriel just managed to clear that ball away. And here's Bukayo Saka challenged from behind by Luca Dean. The referee says play on. And Tielemans plays the ball out wide now. And here's Leon Bailey. Bailey inside to Rodgers. Rodgers, a bit of space in the penalty area. Tries to get the cross away, and it's blocked by Gabriel. And it goes behind for a corner. And Gabriel trying to motivate the rest of the team to concentrate and focus on keeping this lead. There's 19 minutes to go here at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 1. 3 corners for Aston Villa to Arsenal's 1. And it's going to be swung in. And it's just headed out there that time by Declan Rice. Got some distance on that header. Yuri Tielemans comes along to play the ball to Emi Martinez, who's inside the centre circle. He goes long, does Emi Martinez. And just one in the air there is Ben White as he was looking for Luca Dean. And here's Bukayo Saka, challenged late there by Amadou Onana. And that will be a free kick to Arsenal and a yellow card for Amadou Onana. And with 72 minutes gone, Arsenal with the lead. Definitely looking for revenge after having the double done over them by Villa last season. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says yes, Trossard. Has to be said as well that bringing Trossard on was just what Arsenal needed at that time. Wasn't surprised to see him at this point at all. And with 18 minutes to go, Arsenal will be looking now to either to try to hang on to this lead or maybe even try to double it. But Villa, well, there's still a pathway back into this game for them. They've created some excellent opportunities. Here is Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up, drops it back there to William Saliba, to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Saliba, to Ben White. White just over the halfway line there, gives the ball to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard back to Saliba. And again, Saliba again just drops the ball back there to Gabriel, and it's given away. And Morgan Rodgers just looking to find Bailey there, but he wasn't able to find him, and the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And Arsenal will have the opportunity to maintain possession for a little while longer. Just the one substitute for Arsenal so far. Nothing else. I've had 3 substitutes for Aston Villa. We may see additional changes for them the longer it goes on and remains 1-0. Throw-in taken by Timmer. Headed on there well by Leon Bailey, but here's Declan Rice. Won back well there though by John McGinn. Well played. And here is Morgan Rodgers now, just turns away from Thomas Partey brilliantly. Morgan Rodgers, he's got John Duran up there with him. Rodgers is looking there also for Luca Dean, but it was too far away from the Frenchman, and it's easy for David Raya to just come out and pick that up. And here is Thomas Partey. Partey drops the ball there back to William Saliba. Here's Timmer now for Arsenal. And Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel. White in midway inside his own half. Here's Odegaard. Drops the ball back again to Saliba. Saliba, good ball to Tim, who switches from the left side to the midfield so often in this game. It's a good ball now out to the left-hand side to Trossard. Trossard tried to find Havertz. He has to try and win that ball back again as it bounced off the number 4, Ezri Konsa, but Villa somehow maintained possession. And here's Leon Bailey. He's right in front of Timmer. He beats him. John Duran picks up the ball now. And Duran going down the right-hand side, and that's good work defensively by Kai Havertz. Gets across and makes that challenge. And here is the number 5 there, Thomas Partey. And he gives the ball to Martin Odegaard as once again Arsenal slow this game right down to a walking pace. Thomas Partey. He's inside the centre circle now. Just drops back into his own half and gives it to Ben White. Back to Partey, to Martin Odegaard, who's down the right-hand side. Is he fouled there? The referee said yes. Foul by Tielemans, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal as we see a little bit of sunshine. Double substitution coming up for Villa. And coming on, well, Amadou Onana is coming off, so we'll just get the guys who are coming off. And it's Amadou Onana is one of them. And so Onana and Luca Dean coming off. And Ross Barkley and Ian Matson are coming on. So Ross Barkley, Ian Matson are on. And Amadou Onana and Luca Dean are off. So interesting change again by Unai Emery, but that's all 5 substitutes used for Aston Villa now. But let's see now. There's ball down the right-hand side there to by Konsa. Sorry, not by Konsa. By Ben White to Bukayo Saka, and Ben White gets the ball back. Bukayo Saka again. Saka plays the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard across there to Gabriel. Lifted the ball over from to Gabriel. Here's a chance for Trossard. Trossard gets the ball across to Saka. Inside the penalty area now. Bukayo Saka puts inside. Back to the edge of the area to Timber in front, and he scores! Oh, it's a goal! It's Thomas Partey, in fact, but it's a goal nevertheless. It beats Emi Martinez on his left-hand side, and Arsenal double their lead. And that may well be enough. And, well, I think Emi Martinez will look back on that, and he will not look back on that very fondly. 77 minutes gone, and Arsenal double their lead, and it's Thomas Partey. Looking at this again, it's a long ball. Well, Trossard was onside. I didn't see any issue there. The ball was played across to Saka, and Saka pulls it back to the edge of the area to Partey. And it's not shot with an immense amount of power. And it's just curled under the goalkeeper's arm. Yes, the goalkeeper got there, and he only managed to palm it onto the post and in. That is really unfortunate. A goalkeeper of his quality will expect to do much better with that. And Arsenal go into a 2-goal lead. And it is now looking like you never rule out a Premiership team who are only 2 goals down. But I just wonder how Villa will react to this. Emi Martinez looks frustrated. You could tell when the ball went into the net, he was thinking to himself there, surely that, you know what, that is one I want back. As he banged the floor in frustration. So Thomas Partey is the goal scorer, and Arsenal double their lead. And you can see here Arsenal about to make a substitution. And I'm just trying to see who it is. It looks like it's Calafiori who's about ready to come on for Arsenal. And Timmer is coming off. So Timmer is coming off, and coming on for Arsenal is Ricardo Calafiori. So substitution for Arsenal. Not surprised to see this one. Calafiori will definitely add some strength in defence for Arsenal. The ball is played long. And, skipping inside the penalty area is Kai Havertz. Havertz is pulled back to Odegaard. And he blazes it over the crossbar. Martin Odegaard looks to the heavens. That should have been 3. That was a fantastic opportunity. And it's just pulled back. And there was Odegaard. He was 10 yards out. And all he had to do was put it on target, and it would have been 3-0. But he blazes it over the crossbar. What a chance for Martin Odegaard. But still, nevertheless, he looks to the heavens. He'll regret that. But Arsenal still in a 2-goal lead with 10 minutes to go. And in about 8 or 9 minutes' time here, I'll be naming my player of the match for this game. Tomorrow, incidentally, there's more action on the commentary hub tomorrow. JB's back in the commentary chair tomorrow. He's going to be bringing you Liverpool versus Brentford. I will be in the co-commentator's chair as we take a look at those jubilant Arsenal fans right now. Well, they are very, very happy right now with the score. It has to be said, it could have been so much different. So much of the second half, really, Villa were probably the better team, created the better chances. They'll look back, will Arsenal, on that save from David Raya, because how big was that and how important could that prove to be? Here's Barkley, long ball over on the far side to Bailey, but it's out of play, and it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. And Ricardo Calafiori is going to take it. Ricardo Calafiori costing Arsenal 45 million euros from Bologna. Their biggest signing of the window so far, as Villa win the ball back here. It's Yuri Tielemans. He leaves it alone for Ross Barkley. Barkley just turns away from Odegaard. And he holds the ball up, does Ross Barkley. Gives the ball down this near side to Ian Maatsen. Down the left side, Maatsen gives the ball back to Barkley. Ian Maatsen, the former Burnley player, of course. And Maatsen again plays the ball across here for Ramsey. Ramsey holds the ball up down this left-hand side. Does a quick 1-2 with Ian Maatsen. Gives the ball to Ross Barkley. Barkley is about 30 yards out. Rodgers back to Barkley. And across here to Pau Torres. Barkley. Villa looking to create some chances here. Maatsen. Challenged there by Thomas Partey and by Bukayo Saka, and the ball goes out of play. Throwington could quickly, and Ross Barkley just drops the ball back there, and it's now with Pau Torres. Konsa plays the ball over the top there, looking for Leon Bailey, but it's won comfortably. And the ball is played forward now, and it's laid off by Kai Havertz to Declan Rice. Declan Rice to Martin Odegaard now, inside the penalty area for Arsenal, right-hand side. Martin Odegaard, back to Saka. Across here to Trossard with a shot, but it's just wide. And another opportunity for Leandro Trossard. Well, he's been quite brilliant since he has come on. And here's Tielemans. Gives the ball to Rodgers. Nice back heel by Rodgers. And Duran flicks the ball on. And one-on-one now is Jacob Ramsey. Can he score, Ramsey? Oh, what a wonderful challenge by William Saliba. Oh, he was one-on-one with David Raya. And Saliba came across with a perfectionist-type challenge, so perfectly timed. Had he got that wrong, it would have been a penalty and possibly a sending off, but that is a superb challenge on Jacob Ramsey, and that maintains Arsenal's 2-goal lead. It's going to be a corner for Wolves, and we have 6 minutes left. Going to be a corner for Villa. 6 minutes left. It's swung in by Tielemans, headed out as far as Trossard. It's played forward here to William Saliba in an advanced position, and Saliba was dispossessed. and he's alleged to have fouled Leon Bailey, or has he? No. The referee's going to play on, and Arsenal need to continue playing now. And it's a good ball over down the right-hand side from Declan Rice. Brings it down there now. In front of him is Ian Matson. Ball is played across there to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard holds the ball up, but Saka is fouled there, I think, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And chance there. Just a late challenge by Yuri Tielemans, really. Bukayo Saka still down, and Tielemans trying to help him up. I think the point of this is really just to get him on his feet, because Tielemans feels that time is being wasted here. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And very shortly now, I am going to name my player of the match. Just going to give it to my producer first. And the free kick is going to be taken by Martin Odegaard. Well, it's almost on the edge of the penalty area line, down the right-hand side. And I'd say it's about 16 yards out. It's going to be swung in by Odegaard. Looks like he's going to swing this towards the back post. Tries a shot himself. It's headed out, though, by John Duran, only as far as Odegaard himself. He swings it back in, and Emil Martinez comes out and plucks the ball away from Calafiori. And Calafiori's furious. Calafiori wanted to have a go at Martinez, I think, and that is really good sporting play by Ezra Konsa, because he probably stopped Calafiori from doing something stupid there. And here's Matson. Matson holds the ball up and is now going off down the left-hand side. This is a good run by Matson. He's got space in front of him. Durant's in the middle. Can he get the cross in? Durant tries to get the shot away, and again. And it breaks loose to Ian Matson. He's just going to watch that go behind. And it's going to be... Is it going to be a corner? The referee has given a corner. And as we take into the last few minutes of this game, I'll be giving you the player of the match in about 2 minutes' time here. And at 2-0 at the moment to Arsenal. If they can come away from here with a 2-0 victory, given the way Villa have played, this would be an excellent result. And coming on right now for Arsenal is Reece Nelson, and he is going to replace Saka. So Bukayo Saka comes off and Reece Nelson comes on. That's Arsenal. We'll have, it's actually a free kick to Arsenal. So the corner wasn't given. And it's David Raya who is going to take this goal kick. And it's cleared long downfield. Up in the air goes Kai Havertz, but it goes over his head. And Ian Matson just flicks it over Reece Nelson's head. Good play by Ian Matson. And under pressure there from Reece Nelson. And the first thing the substitute does is give away a free kick as Saka just doing a quick handshake to some of the Arsenal fans. And Arsenal have certainly enjoyed their trip to the second city today. Here's Konsa. Gives the ball to Pau Torres. Torres. Good ball to Matson. Goes back to Torres again. Next stoppage of play, I'll give you the player of the match. It's a long ball by Pau Torres. Headed on that time and won by Konsa. Konsa just tries to play the ball over. It goes out of play and it's going to be a throw-in. And the throw-in will be taken by Nedlakovic. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, I'm giving it to Arsenal's Thomas Partey. His performance in midfield has been excellent all the way through. He's also managed to score a goal. And his dominance in midfield, creating opportunities on the left and the right-hand side, is the main reason for me giving him the player of the match. So today's player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Arsenal's number 5, Thomas Partey. And it's now over on the left-hand side with Leon Bailey, and the ball is played forward looking for John Duran, but it's cleared away that time by Reece Nelson, but only really as far as Pau Torres, and Torres plays the ball forward and it's picked up by Matson. Matson to Ramsey. Ramsey just has to take the ball back into his own half, and he gives the ball to Pau Torres. Martin Odegaard has received a yellow card. Not altogether too sure what for. I didn't really see a lot wrong with anything. It might have been something he said to the referee. There's Barkley, and he gives the ball down the right-hand side to Nedlakovic, who passes it on to Leon Bailey into the penalty area and just hacked away that time by Gabriel. And Arsenal, well, it's going to be a throw-in, and it's going to be Nedlakovic who's going to throw the ball in. Duran goes up in the air trying to win that. It's headed out by Saliba. We have 4 minutes of stoppage time at Villa Park. Time running out for Aston Villa, but here's Konsa. Good ball by Konsa. He gets the ball back to Konsa, but it's cleared away there by Gabriel. And now for Arsenal, they just have to play out these last few minutes. For Villa, they desperately need a goal to kind of make these last few minutes a bit of a nervous time. Nedlakovic gives the ball across there to Morgan Rogers. Rogers drops the ball back to Tielemans. It's back to Nedlakovic. He crosses it in towards the back post. It's picked up there by Ian Matson. Ian Matson now down the left-hand side to Ramsey. Ramsey, edge of the area to Ross Barkley, who tries a shot, but it's way over the crossbar and wide, and that really has typified Aston Villa's luck today. They've been unfortunate. They've had chances. David Raya has made a sparkling save at just the right time, and we're looking at it again here. What a save. What a reaction save. I mean, I can only say watch that again when you get a chance. That save was a massively key save to make. As we look again at Thomas Partey's goal, as he is our player of the match today. David Raya now with the goal kick. Long downfield. Ollie Watkins had the two main chances really for Villa. Unable to take either of them. He goes back to the goalkeeper, and it's played out on the two. I'm just trying to see who that is. It's Nedlakovic. Plays the ball out there to Ian Matson. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. It's Pau Torres. Torres plays the ball to Tielemans. Good ball by Tielemans to Rogers. Oh, good stop there by Calafiore. And it's now Duran, and Calafiore comes across again and makes a good challenge. And he gives the ball to Reece Nelson, who is fouled, surely. It'll be a free kick to Arsenal. And time running out now for the hosts. For Arsenal, they'll look at this as another decent victory. 2-0, second clean sheet out of 2. And they'll be very, very happy with that, with Brighton and Hove Albion up next on a midday kickoff, a game you can actually hear on the commentary hub. I will be bringing you that game for that day for Arsenal against Brighton, as it's cleared downfield by Raya. Up in the air goes Havertz. He chests it down. He almost loses it. And it's won back there, in fact, by Jacob Ramsey. And it's now with Ross Barkley for Villa. Plays the ball across there to Rogers. Picked up by Nedlakovic. Nedlakovic down the right-hand side. He's trying to get the better of Calafiore. He almost does, but Declan Rice cuts across and wins the ball back. And finally, Declan Rice clears the ball downfield. With about 40 seconds left of stoppage time, Kai Havertz plays the ball there to Odegaard. Odegaard, he holds the ball up. Gives the ball back to Trossard, who tries a shot again, and it bounces off Yuri Tielemans and goes through to Emi Martinez, as there's really only one last roll of the dice for Villa at this point. Can they make one last charge on the Arsenal goal? Maybe they can pick up a consolation. Here's Konsa. Nedlakovic. He drops the ball back there to the number 4, Ezri Konsa again. And we are inside whatever discretionary time the referee adds on, and that's it. It is full time. David Raya celebrates, and well he might. It was his vital save when it was 0-0 that led then to the opening goal by the substitute Leandro Trossard. Thomas Partey doubled the lead with 13 minutes to go as Arsenal held out against a very, very good Aston Villa team who really created some excellent opportunities. Arsenal not at their best by any stretch of the imagination, but in the end, they got the job done. And it's full time at Villa Park. It is Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 2. Let's take a look at some of the other scores in the Premier League. I'll just run through a classified of the Premier League and the Championship before we say goodnight. So in the Premier League today, Brighton 2, Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 0, West Ham 2, Fulham 2, Leicester 1, Manchester City 4, Ipswich 1, Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Tottenham Hotspur 4, Everton 0, and here, as you know, Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 2. And in the Championship today, the Sky Bet Championship, there was an earlier game. Bristol City 1, Coventry City 1, Hull City 0, Millwall 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1, Plymouth Argyle 1, and Plymouth were down to 9 men in that game. Blackburn Rovers 2, Oxford United 1, Middlesbrough 2, Portsmouth 2, Norwich City 1, Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 1, Luton Town 0, Stoke City 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, Sunderland 1, Burnley 0, Watford 2, Derby County 1. And also in the Championship yesterday evening, in the Yorkshire Derby, it was Sheffield Wednesday 0, Leeds United 2. So that's all we got time for today. Join us tomorrow where JB will bring you full match commentary on Liverpool versus Brentford, and he'll have me in the co-commentator's chair. Russ will be producing that day. So join us for that. But final score here at Villa Park is Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 2. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now.